Big and positive updates coming in regarding Benjamin Sesko. Could he be back for the Bournemouth game? Positive sort of information coming in. Mazraoui probably going to be out for the AFCON game, but United still keeping it quiet. But why do I think Mazraoui is going to be out? What is the latest on that? Noah Sadiki is a new midfield target of Manchester United. I don't know if you watched Newcastle versus Sunderland today, but Noah Sadiki was absolutely fantastic in that game. And as the commentator said, 70% of the world is covered by water, 30% is covered by Sadiki. He covers so much ground, which is what Amorim wants in a midfielder. And United view him as a more realistic target. There's Wharton, there's Anderson, there's Baleba. We believe we can get Baleba, but he's out of form. We're going to talk about Wharton, United's interest in the player, costing 80 million apparently. There is a report coming out that United could be open to letting Bruno Fernandez leave in January to give them the funds to do business. Considering the fact that no one we really want is available in January, I don't think we're going to let Bruno leave in January to give us the funds to bring somebody in when we probably can't get who we want in January. Bruno is irreplaceable in the January window. Bruno is almost irreplaceable in the summer window. So I don't believe that, but we'll talk about it. And then the latest on Mainoo, there's now some talk of Real Madrid and Kobe Mainoo. So hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United news, transfer news, and update roundup show, where I'm going to round up all the latest Manchester United news tonight into 10 minutes. There's obviously match day tomorrow, so let's start with some match day news. Benjamin Sesko was involved in a few first-team activities with the squad at Carrington today and didn't train individually like he's been doing this week. He's doing everything he can to be included. So this is an update from Sully, who's very well informed in and around Manchester United when it comes to injuries, player availabilities, one of the best sources of information. And he's saying, obviously this week that he's been training on grass. There was rumours of him having like a bug or maybe food poisoning. But today he was actually training with the first team in and around the squad, was involved, which is a good sign. And he's doing everything he can to be included. There's a feeling he could be on the bench. He's obviously not going to start tomorrow. There's a feeling he could be on the bench. And I think if Ahmad and Mbeumo aren't available, I think he's more so definitely going to be on the bench unless they really feel he's not fit. But it'll be good to have Sesko back. I think this is some big news on Sesko. I really think if he was available versus Wolves, he would have scored with the chances we were creating versus Wolves, with the space Wolves gave us. And you know what? If we beat Bournemouth tomorrow, we go 5th. I really fancy us versus Bournemouth tomorrow. They've not won in 6. I think they've won 2 out of the last 11 games. Bournemouth have been very poor lately, so I really fancy us. And it'd be nice to have someone like Sesko to come off the bench and give maybe 20 minutes to. Talking other news, it has said that Real Betis play tomorrow, but they've released their Morocco pair, Amrabat and Abde Ezeloussi. I don't know if I said that right. Ahead of Morocco's game in AFCON. United have not said yet if Mazraoui, Amber and Mbeumo are available. What I think is I think Mazraoui's been released. Morocco's first game is 3 days before Cameroon and Ivory Coast's first game. So I feel like we probably can't keep Mazraoui. I think Mazraoui's been released. But something tells me, because we're keeping it secret, I think we are going to have Ahmad and Mbeumo for tomorrow's match. I think we won't have Mazraoui. I think we'll have Ahmad and Mbeumo, but who knows? If we don't have Ahmad and Mbeumo and Mazraoui, that's a massive blow for tomorrow's match, especially with De Ligt out, especially with Maguire out as well. Sesko, we don't quite know yet, but positive updates on Sesko will be a bit of a blow. And I'd love to see the youth get an opportunity like Shea Lacey, but we just don't know with Ruben Amorim. So let's talk about a potentially more realistic target for Manchester United, Noah Sadiki, who joined Sunderland for 15 million in the summer, become a key midfielder for Sunderland. He's become a fan favourite. He was I think he's probably man of the match today versus Newcastle. He was everywhere. And United have monitored him since before his move to England. They've kept an eye on the player for a while. He's a young midfielder. He's moved to the Prem. He's really, done so well in the Prem, new environment, new language. And yeah, he's been absolutely phenomenal in the Premier League, and not struggled and not look out of place for a young guy. And Amorim and Man United really like that. Amorim likes his physical capabilities. And we know that midfield's top priority. Casemiro, Bruno Fernandez, there's Agate, there's uncertainty around all of those players. And while Baleba, Anderson and Wharton are the 3 midfielders we want, and we want to get 2 of those 3, Sadiki is viewed as probably a credible alternative. And it's sort of believed that maybe Sadiki is more realistic than some of those names. Now, Sadiki more realistic in January. There is rumours of that. I don't think so. I don't think Sunderland are going to let him go in January. They've only just signed him. I think we'd have to put in a pretty big bid for them to sell him in January. I think in the summer, if we can't get Anderson and Wharton, maybe we go for Sadiki. It wouldn't shock me. I think João Gomez, Sadiki might be like an Agate replacement. Anderson is the Casemiro replacement. And then it depends what happens with Bruno and Mainoo, but I think there could be a third midfielder there. Casemiro is expected to go. Agate is expected to go. I think Mainoo depends on Amorim. I think if Amorim is sacked, I think Mainoo probably stays as a future at the club. Bruno, I think that's up to him. I don't think he'd go Saudi, but I think if a Bayern Munich went for him in the summer with his 56 million release clause, I could see him saying yes, just to win some trophies, a bit like Kane in the final years of his career, because I'd love to say I could see us winning the Premier League in the next 2 years with Bruno, but I can't really. There's also some other updates on Sadiki. We've been linked to him by a few sources, but none of them are the most reliable sources. But it is seen as a more realistic target for Man United, although I don't personally think it's realistic in January, but some people think we could get him. I don't. I think we've got more chance of getting João Gomez. But Noah Sadiki is attracting major European interest, and United are among the teams interested. The player is happy, but summer 2026 is possible if a big offer arrives. More suggestions it would be the summer. Despite some people hoping and wanting us to move from in January, I think it would more likely be the summer. I'd love us to sign a midfielder in January. I've always said I'm open to João Gomez as like an improvement on Agate. So if Casemiro gets injured, there's someone better to step in. I think João Gomez is more of an upgrade on Agate. I think we have to wait till the summer to get Elliot Anderson, which would be the dream. And we just don't know what's going to go on with Mainoo and Bruno. We don't know who the manager is going to be next year or any of that. But United definitely have some interest in Sadiki here. Continuing on into the next news story, there's some talk on Wharton. Now, I read somewhere that Wharton has a 65 million release clause, but that has not been officially confirmed by an Ornstein or Romano yet. Other sources are saying Wharton is valued at 80 million by Palace. In fact, sorry, more than 80 million by Palace. United, Real Madrid, City, and Liverpool are showing interest. I like Adam Wharton, but he's not a Casemiro replacement. He's a Bruno replacement for me with his quality on the ball. I think if you get Elliot Anderson and then you have Adam Wharton to partner Elliot Anderson, fantastic. I think if we just got Adam Wharton and expected him to do what Casemiro did and play him next to Bruno, I don't think they complement each other that well. I want Elliot Anderson. I want him to be number one. For me, if you get Wharton, I want one of Baleba or Anderson to go next to him. And going off current form, I would go with Anderson over Baleba. I really like Wharton. I don't think we're going to get him. I think when City, Real Madrid, and all these clubs are interested in him, I know Real Madrid haven't looked as good. I know City are prioritising Anderson. I know Liverpool have fallen off. Maybe if we get, I think if we get Champions League, there's a chance. I think we can get Baleba. I think we could get someone like João Gomez or Sadiki. I don't know about Wharton. I don't know about Anderson, but it'd be nice to get them. Team Talk has given some updates saying that United are ready to cash in on Fernandez as second star chooses Real Madrid over more top clubs as well. So we've got some updates on Bruno and Mainoo from Team Talk. Now, I don't think that this is credible and I don't think this is true. But what we do know is he does have a 56 million release clause active for non-English clubs in the summer. But it's now being reported that United would consider selling for 70 million in January. If we can't get Elliot Anderson in January, what's the point of getting 70 million in January for Bruno just because we can get more from in January than the summer? Well, we need Bruno from January to summer to maybe get us Champions League football, which could bring us in 80 million more. It doesn't make sense. I don't think United are open to selling Bruno for 70 million in January, because he's so difficult to replace. I don't think Man United would sell a player like Bruno in January. A sale apparently would help fund a deal for Baleba, Elliot, or Anderson, but we don't even know if Elliot Anderson or Wharton would come for us. You know, we don't. We don't know if Baleba, Elliot Anderson, and Adam Wharton will come for us, but apparently he can fund the deal. Bruno's not going anywhere. If he decides to leave in the summer, he will go. If Bruno wants to go, he will go. If Bruno wants to stay, he'll stay. And then last but not least, Team Talk spoke about Kobbie Mainoo and said that Mainoo has interest from Europe's elites. Reports suggest Real Madrid is Mainoo's preferred destination and Napoli are monitoring the market and remain strongly interested. Real Madrid are monitoring the market, but haven't decided yet. From what I'm hearing, Mainoo's preference is Napoli, not Madrid. Napoli are favourites, but it's up to Man United to see if they'll let him go, and they won't decide that till after AFCON. I'm also hearing that Bruno won't go, but he's got a release clause in the summer and could go. That's what I'm personally hearing on my side of things. Not heard much from Sadiki, but could be one to watch. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. This is your Manchester United news rounded up in less than 10 minutes. Just making sure there's no more news. There's not. Thank you for watching. Bye.